Hello, everyone, and welcome to In Focus YXE. Thank you for joining us. It's been a long haul. I feel a little nervous. We had some technical problems at the beginning there, but I think we're okay to broadcast here. In Focus YXE, it's kind of a project we've been working on, a larger project called YXE.com. I was working on it with my partners, Deborah Hobrook and Dennis Gilbertson. This is our game show. So we're hoping that you'll come, you'll watch, you'll enjoy, you'll have fun, and maybe win some prizes. So I really appreciate that people are showing up today to help me with this and to participate. We're going to get into the rules in a little bit, but I want to bring in my co-host because I'm so nervous. I hunted around. I found a wonderful person to co-host with me. And I'm going to bring them in now. There he is. Everybody, please welcome Damien Kent. Damien, hello.
The obligatory Zoom-esque wave. Hello.
There it is. Thanks so much for coming, Damien. Just a little bit about this game before we start. Some of the rules that we're going to do is basically we're going to show you a picture that's out of focus. And it's a picture of a landmark, something around Saskatoon. If you think you know it, you comment. And we'll go through our comments. We aggregate them here. And there's already some comments coming in from various people. We'll put them on like that, like David Fisher saying, ready. That's not the right answer. And then there's, hi guys, this is exciting. Have a great show from my business partner, Deborah Hobrook. Richard, wonderful. There, it's Ian, that's me, yes. And then there's Damien now. So Richard, I want to see a comment that it's Damien. And then over to Dennis, and Dennis is saying, looks good and sounds good. Oh, no, that's David that's saying that, not Dennis. Dennis, David, those D names are hard sometimes.
You got a lot of D's on here too.
We do. We got Deborah, David, Dennis saying good luck. Mike, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so the rules. What happens is we'll show you a picture and we'll wait and we'll talk a bit and we'll have some other questions too that we'll ask as the show goes on, and feel free to answer those. You don't win prizes for those, but you do win prizes for guessing the correct correct picture. And Damien and I are going to have some kind of, I don't know, je ne sais quoi on whether or not we think the answer is correct enough. And we are absolutely the final kind of authority on this.
I like.
So does that make sense, Damien?
Yes, it does. I love je ne sais quoi. They're my favorite.
We have lots of comments coming in here.
A Doyle, another D.
And somebody's
And
talking
hi,
late, but I
Sylvia.
couldn't quite make out what it is. So if they could say that again. Matt Morrison says I'm a natural.
Well, I mean, his judgment is somewhat, questionable.
It is. Hi, Dada, says Viv. That's Jackie Kripke, and that's your daughter, right? Isn't that, Damien?
That is correct. Okay. Yeah.
Doyle Benson. Awesome. So here we get going. Okay. So a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to ask a question just so we can have something to talk about in between pictures. The other thing that's going to happen, Damien, as you're aware, because you do a lot of live streaming, is right now people can watch us on YouTube and they can watch it on Facebook. Now, these streaming platforms are probably at least 20 or 30 seconds behind live. And we don't know which one is faster, which one's quicker or slower or faster. So if you're watching on YouTube and you put your answer in, Facebook might be a little ahead. We don't know. We're going to try to figure that out as we go along with time. But Damien, we have software here. It's going to aggregate the answers, and our software is kind of the final authority, isn't it?
Yes. And I mean, the cash prize is not ridiculously large. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to have too many problems with it, right?
Well, exactly. So one of the questions that people can respond to if they want is, I want to know what community in Saskatchewan anywhere in the world really, but in Saskatoon you're watching from. So you're at the studio, we call it the Melius Terra West Studio, and I'm in Caswell Hill. Damien, where are you?
I am in Brevet Park.
Park.
Nope, Buena Vista. I'm a liar. I don't even know where I am in my own city. I am in Buena Vista.
There is a comment there, and we'll probably talk a bit about that. Matt, I hope you can see that if you're watching. We'll come back to that. Sylvia says she's watching from Caswell Hill. A couple of technical things here we have to talk about. Get the legal stuff out of the way. For the complete contest rules, please visit noyxe.com/contest-rules. There you can find the exact rules and all the legal jargon that we need to make us legal to be broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Damien, should we get to the first picture so people can start responding, and then I'll ask you some questions about yourself?
Let's do the first picture, Ian.
Okay. So I've traveled around. I think tonight we're going to try and get through 4 pictures. That's the other thing. We don't know how the timing is going to work tonight. So I don't know if it's going to be a 10-minute show or an hour show, but we'll give it a shot. So we're going to put up the first really blurry picture, and we'll see if people can guess it. Here it is. And I'm going to take that banner off, and I'm going to go back to the comments. And right now we have South Nutana Park, says Dayton. Buena Vista is Jackie. I think you have her. And there's a hint for you. Maybe David wanted to keep that to himself. YouTube ahead by about 10 seconds, so maybe he has a bit of an advantage. Deborah, my partner, is in South Nutana, Patience Lake, and
Nice.
oh geez, I think that's probably a comment on that. We have a guess here. And Damien, I should say that you don't know these, right?
No, I have no idea what these photos are. I've never
Richard
seen them
Halbrick
before.
is guessing the train bridge. But we know it's not the train bridge because I know what they are, but it's a good guess, and I can kind of see how they'd make that out. And we have other comment here. My vision after 7 beers, says Doyle, which could be true.
7,
what do you
hey?
think?
Man.
What do you think?
That's at least a dozen for me, Doyle.
Now I think Dennis is commenting there. Dennis, I have to say that in the contest rules that principals involved with Melius Terra and no YXE cannot win prizes. So please do not comment. But I will tell you. That
Dennis
is wrong.
Dennis wins for cutest profile picture.
Here we go. Dallas is guessing River Landing by the Art Gallery. No. That's a good guess.
That's a solid guess.
These are all really good guesses, but it's not quite it. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to go back to this shot here. So Damien, tell me a bit about yourself. You're one of 3 people involved at Little Ox.
Yeah. I'm one of 3 runners, owners, business peoples in Little Ox Film Company, which is a little film company here in Saskatoon. And
tell me what kind of things have you? Let's do pre-COVID, post-COVID. What kind of things did you do pre-COVID, and then how did you pivot to deal with this pandemic?
Pre-COVID we're still a really new company pre-COVID, so we're still kind of finding our feet. But like video production is sort of what our background is. So we did corporate videos, we did event recordings, sort of anything that involved a video camera and or some sort of video editing, we were open to doing. Yeah, and that's the short answer.
And did you find that post-pandemic that you're doing other things?
We're doing a lot of similar things, but we added live stream to our repartee of things that we do. So we, since 2 of the 3 of us come from a broadcast background, adding live stream to, Viv's got a guess in there.
Ha! She does.
I think she's right. I think she wins. Am I allowed
Vivian,
to say that?
On behalf of Jackie Kripke, says Vivian guesses the Shakespeare site with the lights. No, she does. That is not the right answer. But Vivian, that is really close geographically. And if somebody's talking in my ear, I could get them to talk again because I can't hear them. There's another guest there. Yeah. So did you find that you had to pivot like kind of like Melius Terra did? We got into a lot of live broadcasts, which kind of morphed into this thing that we're doing, No YXE.
Yeah, live became a thing because, of course, people couldn't be in the same room with each other, and people still needed to connect and run businesses and run their lives. And so just like you guys, we found ways to sort of facilitate that. And yeah, so we've done a couple of conferences, and we really like it. The skip for us wasn't very big because we sort of had the background on the broadcast side. It was just making it more internet-y, which I think is a very technical term.
Well, I think it is a completely technical term, internet-y. Mike and Cooks, Spadina to University Bridge, pedestrian path. No, but everybody's kind of warm in the right area from a geographic perspective. Should we give them another picture, Damien?
Let's defuzz that. Let's take that down to about 6 beers.
There it is. That's not much of a change, though.
That is not much of a change.
I'm going to go back to us here, and I'm going to quickly go over to my other screen here. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking in the camera straight on, but I have kind of a monitor over here and a monitor here, and I'm kind of trying to get this all done by myself here. So, this one might give it away. Should we give a hint out too, Damien?
I think we should. I mean, everybody's really close, so.
Well, the hint would be I took this picture on a walk with one of my children. We went out and we really appreciated that cold spell, all the steam that was coming off and how it was attaching to trees. And we found a spot where the river was generating a lot of mist, I guess, which meant that there's a lot of I guess, hoarfrost. It's called, I got to be careful about how I say it. Rotary playground, not quite. That answer there, Jackie, is super close, but it's not quite enough. Traffic bridge, we're getting a little further away. Let's take a look at this picture. And Jackie, you may want to stand by the keyboard there to expand on that answer. And I'm going to try and hide that. And here it comes.
Vic Bridge Doyle. I think you're the wrong way down the river.
We got Vic Bridge. Yeah, that's going the wrong way. Yeah. We have QE2 power plant. That's wrong, but I think we have a right answer here. I'm going to have to scroll back up. And this is somebody from YouTube. Weir Path by Spadina. And that is correct. We went out one night. My boys and I, we've gotten into a habit of we go out in the evenings and we go for tea. We go to a drive-through and we just kind of drive the river just to get out and get something, to do something during this pandemic. So that is it. And yeah, we had another answer. This is right, but it was late. There's another answer. Our house. Jim Waldron says, yeah, our house. That's not correct. Chris Peters by the Weir parking lot would have been correct, but unfortunately, Steve Kent.
That's pretty close. That fence is the giveaway. That fence is totally the giveaway.
And I'm going to go back to this shot here, and I'll leave that up. Go over here, and I'm going to bring in the reveal picture as soon as I call it up here.
De-blurify. De-blurify. Again, I'm going with the jargon.
And here it is. Okay, let's get that up. There it is.
Nice.
And congratulations, Steve. You have won the prize. And Steve, your prize is a $25 gift certificate to Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar. And we thank Wendell Clark's for coming up with that. Steve, if you can get in touch with us by Facebook Messenger or by email, and this might be a good time to put up our email. Where it is, there it is there. In the know at noyxe.com. Steve, you can get in touch with us. We'll make sure that prize gets into your hands. Sometimes you can pick it up if we can make arrangements with the establishment. Other times we'll just mail it to you given this pandemic. Congratulations, Steve. So
I have a question for you, Ian.
Question away.
Yeah, the red light way at the end there, is that brake lights or is that something else? Is that the old street lights?
I think, I mean, of course, I'm putting my mouse over the picture, but nobody can see that. I think one of those lights just a bit further on is probably a mercury vapor metal halide or something.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing that kind of effect in the distance. So
it's very foreboding.
It was kind of neat. And the picture doesn't do it justice, but at the time, you were actually being hit by mist too. Doyle Benson, I double clicked there. Pam Down says, great photo. Jackie Kripke says, super pretty. And then Doyle Benson says he's heard of that place. That place is great. And I think he's referring to maybe the picture, but probably Wendell Clark's Classic Bar and Grill or Classic Grill and Bar. Anyway, so Damien, there is some shameless self-promotion happening here, I have to admit. We're really good friends with the people at Wendell Clark's Classic Bar and Grill or Classic Grill and Bar because we host another podcast there on the No YXE network. So we're going to do a shameless plug here. And to do that, we're bringing in Matt Morrison. And he is one of two hosts of that show. It airs Mondays, 6 p.m., YXE Sports Podcast. Matt, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
I'm doing well.
Pretty good.
Ian, you're natural at this. You're just killing the hosting, Ian.
Well, thank you. I'm a little nervous.
My job might be in jeopardy here.
But you know what? I'm not that good because I forgot to do something when Steve won. Here's what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah, this is important.
Oh.
We have the winning lights. So you have to remind me. Okay, lights off. Matt, tell me about the show and who do you do it with?
Yeah, so the YXE Sports Podcast is a venture that I host along with my father. Ray Morrison. For those of you who don't know, Ray was a long-time sports broadcaster in the city with Rolco Radio. He's done some stuff with TSN in the past as well, covering the CFL and some NHL stuff too. So Ray and I host the YXE Sports Podcast every Monday at 6 p.m. And we do it typically live from Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar. Last week, we weren't there as I'm in self-isolation. We're to be determined if we're going to be there next week as well. But typically, you can find us right at the restaurant. If not, you can find us live, No YXE, on the Facebook page. You can head over and join the YXE Sports Podcast Facebook page. We're live there. And also go over and like the Facebook page of Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar, because we're also on their Facebook Live on Mondays, 6 o'clock. And it is a podcast and a webcast. So all of our episodes are on Spotify, Apple, any kind of streaming service. You can get a hold of us that way. And it's just 20, 25, 30 minutes for me and my old man to talk about sports. And it's a venture that we started about a year ago. And then Ian, of course, you know the story. We teamed up with you last March, and then COVID hit and all the sports shut down. But yet here we are.
It is a great show. And to be honest with you, I think kind of working on the YXE Sports Podcast, and when Wendell Clark's came on board pushing us to get into the live streaming was really helpful to get us to the point where we can do a show like this. YXE is in the name, but obviously it's pretty hard right now to do local sports because there's not much happening. What are you going to be talking about Monday?
Yeah, we'll probably recap another week in the NHL. The Super Bowl is on Sunday, February 7th, so we'll probably preview that. And then we'll see what kind of the weekend has in store. The NBA is in full swing. And just today, the Alberta government gave the Western Hockey League teams that play in Alberta clearance to go ahead and play in a Western Hockey League season this year. Saskatchewan probably going to be the next province to sign off on that. Of course, it's all kind of talk right now that there is going to be a Western Hockey League season, but each jurisdiction, each province has to sign off on that. Alberta was the first official province to do so, but we expect that the other provinces are going to jump in and get it in on that soon. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well.
That's wonderful. Damien, any questions for him, or is it okay if we wrap this?
Anybody who knows me knows that the questions I have about sports are like, which ball do you use on which piece of ice?
That's kind of like me. Two more things. One, a quick comment is I think your show would be a lot better if you covered more Formula One, because that's really important. And number two, we gave away a gift certificate tonight for Wendell Clark's. We're going to start doing that Mondays, but it's a little different. So how are they going to win if you want $25 on Monday?
Right. So like I said, we can be found live on No YXE on the YXE Sports Podcast Facebook page and the Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar Facebook page. So during the live broadcast, Mondays at 6 o'clock, let us know you're watching. Drop by, whether it's on the No YXE Facebook page, the YXE Sports Podcast Facebook page, or the Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar Facebook page. Leave a comment. You know, we love to hear your opinions on sports. We love to answer your questions. Should you have any, we just love to know that you're listening. So make sure to go to any of those Facebook pages, leave a comment, and just by leaving a comment, you'll be entered to win a $25 gift certificate to Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Monday, 6 p.m., YXE Sports Podcast, found wherever, No YXE on YXEsportspodcast.com and all our social media channels. That's wonderful. Thank you, Matt, for coming in and doing this.
Thank you, Ian. Continue to crush it because you're doing such a good job.
And you're in a kind of a quasi territory where you may or may not win a prize if you actually had the right answer.
I'll keep that in mind.
You're a little distance. Thank you. I'm taking you out of the broadcast. Bye.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
Bye, Matt.
Okay, Damien. It's 7:20. We've done one photo. Maybe we should get on those photos.
We've got at least one more to do, right?
No, we have three more groups of photos to do.
Okay, well, people got to start guessing a little bit better. Although the frequency is really good. I'm really impressed with how many people are throwing in answers.
And here we go. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Here comes. That's really hard, so we're going to move on quickly. Maybe a wrestling talk show. Doyle says he might do that. Doyle likes wrestling. Susan Burton's watching. Nice job, co-host. I think that's a reference to you, Damien.
It might be. Again, Susan's judgment is questionable, but we'll take that comment into account.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of that photo. My problem is I started really blurry because this one, I think once it starts coming into focus, it's going to be really easy to guess. So I'm just
It
calling
actually
up
looks less like a photo and more like an out of focus photo of a painting.
Yeah, it could be. Not much change, right?
Not much change.
Jim Iverson saying Prairie Sun. No.
And I can't remember if you said this before, Ian, but we played this game before, and the reason you asked me to co-host is because I'm not allowed to play the game.
You're right. I was
And-
going to bring that picture up.
And I am really stumped with this one.
Well, Jim Waldron there, your house, I see a door. Well, it's not our house, but there is a door. And Susan says, I have more sport knowledge than Damien, just saying. Well, Susan, my response to that would be that if you have a show idea, let us know.
Susan, that's
Drop us
also
an
a
email.
really
Get
low
to know
bar. That's a really low bar.
Okay. Any more guests? Let me get over here and I'm going to check here. Jim Waldron. Hey, Damien, what's this? Jim Waldron says, do I win then? No, he doesn't win because there's a door there, but it's not, specific enough.
Not that
little closer would work, Jim. Viv thinks it's a guitar. I can kind of see that, but
that's my guess too. Can I guess? Can I guess guitar?
You can guess guitar.
There could be like a team family guess.
The right answer. And there's a bunch coming here. Pam down, Remy Art Gallery. Susan is pondering.
I don't
know if
think
she's
that's
pondering
it.
what the picture
But
is, or
again,
pondering to do a show.
I feel like that's something that came out of the Mental Art Gallery.
Jim is getting closer. It's a nice door. Well, I think it's a nice door. Certainly a retro door. And I'd be surprised. Susan should know this. Okay, this one I think is going to give it away, Damien. So we got to keep an eye on the answer.
Let's see.
Are you ready? I'm going to take Jim's answer out of here. And I'm going to drop that banner. I got to figure out where to do that. Get rid of the banner there. And here it comes. Okay, so I'll go over here and ta-da. There it is. So I think we'll hold on this for a bit because I think this might give it away. Mike and Cook, can you show the pic again? I'm glad we could do that for you.
We're on it. Ian can read your mind.
We're barely on it. Let's go like that so we can look at each other. Now I'm kind of, there it is. We have a winner.
Who got it?
Activate the lights. And there they are. The lights are on. I'm going back to this shot. And the first answer was David Fisher. Sorry, not that. Well, that's the right answer. That's Steve Kent. They moved up on me. Doyle said Broadway Theater as well. Jackie Kripke got the right one, Broadway Theater. But the first answer came from David Fisher. Congratulations, David Fisher.
Way to
Broadway
go, David.
Theater is the correct answer. And I'll get off that photo and I'll do the big reveal.
Yeah, I want to see this because I still don't see the Broadway Theater there.
Well, okay. Well, maybe I'll go to a different one then. I'll go to this guy here. Because I actually backed up with a reveal. I thought the Broadway Theater would be too well known, so I kind of focused on a little bit of something that was recognizable but not that easy. So I'm going to take down the answer and throw up this photo. There is the unblurred photo.
Oh, wow.
So there it is.
Yeah, I can see why I was stumped.
David, congratulations.
Good job, David, Steve, and Jackie. Because
yeah, they all got it.
I never would have gotten that.
Looks like people on YouTube have a bit of an advantage, though, I'd have to say. So a bit of shameless self-promotion again, Damien. One of the reasons we have this is...
But you should probably turn off the winning lights first.
Oh, yeah, turn off the winning lights.
If we're moving past winning, you don't want to overdo those.
Thank you for the cue. And I'm just going to throw this photo up there, kind of what we're calling the reveal photo. Of course, venues like Broadway Theater, they've been hit really hard, like any live venue with this pandemic. So that's a bit of a concern. We have another show on our network, which airs Wednesdays, called the Green Room YXE. 7 p.m. this Wednesday, and one of the guests on that show is going to be Kirby, and he's going to talk about the Broadway theater and how things are going for them there. So shameless self-promotion. Leslie Stanwyck, Johnny Sinclair host that show. They premiered last night. We had Jay Semko on, and we had Chris Henderson on. Wonderful show from a marketing perspective. It went really well. And it was a great show. And yeah, from marketing perspective, we had great numbers on that. So thank you, everybody that tuned in. It's coming up this Wednesday.
Those are two pretty good guests, too. Those are two really good guests. They're nice, chatty folk.
Absolutely. Jay Semko talked a lot about his war stories of leaving towns and people chasing them, throwing beer bottles at their van and things like that. So that was interesting. And Chris Henderson talked about what it's been like, because his career, he's 3-time winner. I think it was Saskatchewan Music Association. I forget what it was. Performer of the Year, male performer of the year, might have been 3 years in a row. So his career's on this kind of really nice trajectory. And then suddenly it kind of like the pandemic comes and things change, and he's had to pivot. He has a degree in education, so he's actually gone back to teaching this fall. So we talked about that and the struggles in general of being a musician. So it was really good. So this Wednesday, Kirby's one of the guests, 7 p.m. Damien, time for another photo?
Time for another photo.
I better get it ready.
What's it going to be here? Oh, wait, you can't tell me.
I can't tell you. Oh, what did David win? That's a good point. Thank you, Deborah, for keeping me on track.
Thank you, Deborah, for doing what I think is both of our jobs right now.
It is. David, your prize is you get to pick a piece of swag, a t-shirt from the noyxe.com website. So get in touch with Deborah, either through Facebook message or through email, and we'll make arrangements that we'll give you a coupon. You can go on the site, pick what you want, and it'll come to you in the mail. So there's noyxe.com shirts there. We have Green Room shirts there. We have sports podcast shirts there. We don't have any shirts for this show yet, Damien, but hopefully we will soon.
Great.
Susan says, yeah, Dennis is talking in my ear, but it was kind of annoying there because there was a phone ringing for about a minute. Mike and Cook says, cool, but we got to get on the next photo. Now we've actually
we got work to do here.
We have work to do.
Quit getting distracted. Promoting things that you're supposed to be promoting and doing things that Deborah's reminding you.
I love your honesty. And hopefully my computer won't crash. There we go. Okay. We're going to start with a really blurry thing. And again, it's really blurry because this one was super easy, I think, once it starts coming in. Here we go. Taking off Mike's comment, and we're going in here like that. Oh, it didn't go full screen. Let's go full screen. There we go.
That's better.
That's better.
That is very red.
That's very red. So we'll leave that up for a couple seconds. In the meantime, if people want to comment on what they think that is, I'll mention something here just to keep the conversation flowing. Here's a question. You and I talked about this earlier, Damien. Where were you 35 years ago today? And I think we figured you were 7 or 8, so you didn't quite remember. I remember.
Why 35 years, Ian?
Speaking of the Challenger disaster.
That
happened 35 years ago today. I was I lived in Ontario, grade 13 at the time, and I went to.
It was your third time in grade 13 too.
It was actually my second time in grade 13, but that's another story. I was in grade 13, but I went to a school that started at 7:30, and I had to take a bus for 45 minutes, and I was just so tired that I slept in, and I was actually in the bath, and my mother shouting up to me and said, Ian, you gotta come down and watch. And yeah, so I jumped out of the tub and I watched. It was just an incredible experience. So Richard Hobrecht is suggesting it's the Shakespeare in the Saskatchewan site. No, it's not, but it's a good guess. They've done a lot of lighting there that they have activated pretty much all the time.
It turns on just after dusk, I think, because Jackie and Viv were there and they were disappointed the lights weren't on. And then
it's a wonderful show if you can catch it. Doyle
it's really beautiful.
Benson, I don't know if he's saying this is a picture from a kindergarten class or he's in kindergarten when.
I don't think he's talking about the picture.
Or maybe grade 1 or 2, depends if he's on the long program. Jim Iverson says he was in Hawaii at the Scotia Center Mall talking to the shoe shine guy who heard the news on the radio.
That is a very specific memory.
It is. Of course, David, I think, is a little closer to my age. So he'll have a bit better memory of
He's
that.
nowhere near my recollection of just general events in life. I find that
Okay.
everything before the last, 2 years, I'm going to say the last 4 years, has basically been a giant blur.
Do you think that's a result of the pandemic, or is it? Does
No,
that not
no,
help?
that's-
That you kind of
No, that's definitely the result of becoming a father.
right fatherhood.
Yeah,
Fatherhood. That would do it. Here's another
kind of
photo.
wipe the slate clean right there.
It's a
That's a
little
little less
clearer.
blurry now, Ian, right?
It is.
I still can't tell what it is. I'm glad that you made this a lot more difficult because I would be really struggling to keep my mouth shut. But I can talk about this all I want now because I really don't have a clue.
It's a well-known landmark in Saskatoon, and I think the next one might give it away, but I'm going to wait here because of the delay, Damien, that we talked about earlier, just to make sure that people are not trying to guess on this one. Again, this is noyxe.com. It's a new project. We have 4 shows. We're looking for other show ideas, and we're hoping to launch another show mid-February. And sometime after that, we have a cooking show coming online. But we are open to ideas. And it's think of it, Damien, like kind of community television meets news. And that's what we're trying to do here. And we think that by using social media platform, the cost or the price point to actually do live is where we can make this work. So if you have a show idea, please consider emailing us at intheknow@noyxe.com. And we'll take a look at your idea, and who knows, you could be on TV, just like I am. If I can do it, anybody can, right?
That's true. I mean, again, you and I set a pretty low bar.
Okay, looking through here. Captain Mike says, the HMCS Port de la Reine. Reine? That would not be the right answer. I'm not even sure what that is, but I'm curious. And maybe if Joan can speak on behalf of Captain Mike and let us know a bit more about that. The next answer is red seats outside bulk cheese. And that is not the right answer as well. But we do have the right answer coming up next here. Should I activate the lights?
Well, I think you have to show the answer and then activate the lights.
Show the answer.
I think you need to be
then
full
do the
screen
lights.
for. If I can just direct from my house,
So we go
I
like
think you
this.
should be full screen and then throw on the lights, because then you get
I'm
the full
full
effect of
screen.
the
Okay,
lights.
I go like this. And
Yeah.
I go, Ed, Damien,
Yeah.
we have a winner.
We do?
Congratulations, Joan Stuckan. The lights are
The
on.
bus.
The bus. So while the lights
Hence
are on,
the red.
I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to get rid of this photo here, and I'm going to get the reveal photo. Get that up as soon as I can. Is it time to turn the lights off?
Do it during the reveal photo. I like this. I like directing live where everybody can hear it as I just mouth my opinions off.
Here we go.
You're
Here's
welcome
the reveal
to
photo.
Nicely done. Way to go, Joan.
Joan, thank you so much. Now I can bring us back to the 2 shot. Should I turn the lights off before I go back to the shot?
Yeah, turn the lights off. We're done celebrating. Joan's had her moment. She's done. Tell her what she's won and get on with it.
Okay, we got 2 more photos to get through. Congratulations, Joan. You have won. Oh, we have 1 more photo to get through. You have won a T-shirt.
Is there anything on the T-shirt, Ian?
It is. You can go to our website, noyxe.com/shop, and you can pick what you want. There's the noyxe.com logo. There's the YXE Sports Podcast logo. There's the Green Room YXE, and probably in the next couple of days, we'll get the logo that you can see in the top corner of this screen up there for this episode, or for purchase. So you can purchase that shirt or the shirt from this episode as I get tongue-tied as well. But it'll be a couple of days before we get that up. Joan, congratulations. Please get in touch with us by email or Facebook message, and we'll get that instructions to you. Get a coupon where you can go on the website, pick what you want, and apply the coupon at checkout, and it should ring up to 0, and it'll be in the mail to you.
Just a note that if you go try to get the shirt from Ian's house by yelling at him from more than 6 feet away, it still doesn't work.
Yeah, that will
has
not
to
work.
be digitally.
That will not work. A couple answers after, I agree with Joan. Yeah. Jim Iverson was a little late on it, but very close. Bus stop. He was, correct. I probably would have taken that. So a bit more clarification here on Mike's comment from earlier. That's where he was when the Challenger went down. It was not a guess, so I didn't quite get that.
That
And
makes sense.
Richard, I think we took care of that. So we're good there. And Joan's really happy that she won a prize, and I hope she's okay with the shirt. There you go. We're all caught up in the comments. Damien, is it time for another photo?
I think it's time for another photo.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun, way more than I should be.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Is it okay
Yes,
you
it's
have
okay
fun?
for me to having it. I'm not having an inappropriate amount of fun. Let's put it that way. It's above where it should be, but below inappropriate.
I have to close some folders there. I may have a computer crashing issue, which means that you may have to take over.
Sing and dance.
Yeah. It's
If
not
anything
gonna
can
open.
drive
We do
viewers
it
away
back up.
faster, it'll be me singing and dancing.
There we go. Okay, here's a blurry one. Again, start it really blurry, then we'll try and get it going there. So here it is. Damien, I'd be happy if you could dance. That would make me happy.
There is some entertainment value, but it's like the sad kind of entertainment value.
So I'd be very entertained. Do you sing while you dance? Maybe you should do a limerick.
I can do both very poorly at the same time.
Okay, while that's happening, let's try and get a conversation going here.
We could talk about stuff. Oh, pandemic hobby. Do you have a pandemic hobby, Ian?
Do I have a pandemic hobby? Well, I've picked up some bad habits. Shortly after the pandemic, I started some Zoom calls, and I think you were on some of those early on, Damien. We did 2 or 3 that it just kind of seemed to be a thing where we're just kind of staring at each other on Zoom and nobody's really saying anything. But one of those calls, we talked about video games. Yeah, exactly. We talked about video games. And I've reconnected with a friend that now lives in Edmonton and 2 other people here in town. And almost every night we play Call of Duty Warzone.
I'm a little jealous of that.
And we do it, and it's kind of a terrible pleasure, I guess, in some ways, if I can say that, if I can call it that. The cave, I think that might be an answer or an attempted answer.
I think that's an attempted answer. That is a solid guess.
That's a solid guess, but it's not. But I can see how they get that. Yeah, Micah agrees. Dayton Hobrook says his school is a pandemic hobby.
Is school a hobby?
Dennis Gilbertson eating a lot.
I'd like to say that was my pandemic
baking.
hobby, but I was doing that way before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, me too. I've become addicted to fried chicken. And a shameless plug, Co-op fried chicken is my favorite in the city. Geology building. That's another good
guess. That's a guess.
The Browns are, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Peters is saying it's the plaque on the Bessborough. I'm not sure of that plaque, but that's a good guess, I think.
It could be Bessborough. The colors are right for Bessborough.
Yeah, I'm going to get the picture up. Why don't we do this so people can actually take a look at it? And another guess, the biology building. Close. They're all good guesses, but it's not quite on. So I'll bring us back to here, and I'm going to bring up another picture, Damien. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm on the edge of my seat. Wait. I'm on the edge of my seat. Sorry. This camera's awfully close to my face.
It was totally fine by me. Okay, checking. There's no other comments. So here we go. There's another one. The cave. A lot of guests, but the cave. Roman thinks about the cave on A Street. And I can get it, but maybe with this photo, it's not quite that. No more pandemic hobbies. So the other thing we found, Damien, playing Call of Duty is we get up early on Saturday morning and play that. Generally, the opponents are not.
Are you channeling your youth, where like Saturday morning cartoons is now Saturday morning video games with Buzz?
It is. I have to admit, there's something addictive about it. And just going in. Of course, the concept is it's a battle royale. You start with 75 teams. Maybe you're doing duels, or if you're in quads, 40 or 50 or whatever. And it's a battle down to the last team left. And it's really addictive. We've only come out first maybe twice out of hundreds of matches, but.
I can imagine you guys aren't very good.
Well, I'd like to think we're getting better.
Well, I mean, practice matters for something.
Buds, no. Good guess. No. These are good guesses. Oh, here's a good guess. Jim Iverson's RUH, old entrance.
Oh, yeah. I can see how that could be, but I don't think it is.
I think pre-pandemic, you and I have shared some wings there on occasion. Don't tell Boyle at Wendell's.
Well, it was before we discovered Wendell's. We've also done wings at Wendell's when we could.
That's true. We have, and it
Post
continued
and
to go back.
Hydrant is a solid guess.
You know, in shameless promotion again. Yeah, Peter McKinnon, Pam Down, Peter McKinnon Building. That's a good guess. It's not that. I just really like the food at Wendell's. They have a great ribeye. Wow. We have some right answers. We have a winner.
Do you?
Yeah, but maybe I'll go down. Mike says the Senator Hotel. That's a very good guess. I can see the Browns would make sense there, and kind of the corner makes sense. Window and brick wall. Who's saying that? Jim Waldron.
Yes.
He's correct, but that's not.
You are correct. Jim wins. Is that enough to win?
No, he doesn't win. That's not close enough. Oh, no.
He's also the one who guessed door earlier.
Here's the winner. Well, here's the winner. We have a double winner. Maybe we have to have a rule. You can't win twice, but that's okay. We'll let that happen tonight. And I'm going to get ready with the button. No, I got to solo me, right? That's what I do.
You got to solo you.
That. And congratulations. And
then say we have a winner.
We have a winner.
Throw your hands up in the air.
Is the winner.
No, throw your hands up in the air.
We have a
there
winner.
You go.
Congratulations. River Landing, the restored civic waterworks structure.
Yes.
Wow, David.
Good job, David.
And I'm going to put the photo back up there, and I'll do the big reveal over here on the other screen.
I can see your desktop.
Oh, my desktop's there. I didn't solo?
No, you didn't solo. That's okay. I didn't see anything too incriminating.
That's good. River Landing, the restored river. There it is.
Yep.
It's a cool looking building. I have no idea what the city wants to do with it, if anything. David says, I'll stop participating. No, it's quite all right, David.
No, you can keep playing. No,
it's
see,
okay.
David, if you keep getting them right, you end up hosting or co-hosting.
I haven't been watching. Joan won, and she's watching on Facebook.
You go ahead and
at least YouTube, right?
What's that?
I'm just trying to figure out if the winners all came from YouTube or some from Facebook.
I think they all came from YouTube because I'm watching the YouTube feed. I don't have the Facebook feed in front of me.
Joan won, and I can see that she was on Facebook.
She is a Facebooker. Yes, she's not on my feed.
Yeah. Congratulations, David Fisher. You won, and this prize is a $25 gift card from Citizen Cafe and Bakery. So again, contact us, and we'll get that prize into your hands somehow. That's it. I think that's all the photos.
Okay, lights off, Ian.
Oh yeah, lights off. I'm glad you're here.
This is what I do. I'm glad I'm glad I'm here to help. I don't know how you get through without me.
Let's throw this up here just before we close. That's it for the prizes tonight. We have 4 photos.
Hi.
But have you found a place? Hi, there's Viv.
Here's my co-star.
Would
you like to say hi? Hi. That's Ian right there.
Hi, Viv.
He's waving
at you. Viv, we're going to do this question here. She probably can't hear me. Have you found a place in Saskatoon where you can exercise or feel safe? I had mentioned that almost every night I take my boys, we get in our car, we go to a drive-through, we get a coffee or tea, and we just drive around. Sometimes we get out, do a bit of a walk. So that's something we're doing, just trying to get out of the house. Other thing, last couple of weeks or last week or so, I've started cross-country skiing again, which I haven't done in 20 years, and I've discovered muscles that I thought I didn't have. So if you have anything like that, let us know. The other thing we're going to remind people of, Damien, is that is Bell Let's Talk Day, so we can go on Twitter and run that hashtag through. It's no skin off your teeth, and it's 5 cents for mental health. And of course, Damien, both of us are former Bell employees of sorts.
That's correct.
And this is one of the great initiatives they do every year, and they raise millions of dollars for mental health, and they also get that conversation out there. So rush over to Twitter after the show and get them the 5 cents. There's other ways you can do it too. Other things you can do, watch videos and things, make phone calls. That gets us to the end. Congratulations. Hi, Viv. Somebody says, Dennis Gilbert.
Yeah, I think we just got upstaged.
And yeah, it's a long enough delay between the photo showing up and the winner answer coming up. Not sure there. Hello, Vivian from David Fisher. And David says, MVA trails are being well used, but everyone I encounter is very respectful. I'm finding that too, is that a lot of times when you're out, that people are respectful. I have to admit, up to maybe 2 months ago, I really wasn't putting a mask on outside as much, but now I am. If I'm, passing somebody on the trail, I'll put my mask on before I see them and take it off if I have to. My kids are really good at wearing masks. they have to wear them in school and they're accustomed to it. But actually, last week they wore them because it was so cold.
It helps. It really does help. Mask and beard. It's very good for keeping your face warm.
Yeah, and I shaved my beard for this show, and then went skiing one of those really cold days just after.
And did you regret it?
Cold warning. I did regret it. It felt a little chilly.
Fool.
I couldn't figure out why it felt cold until afterwards.
Time your shaving with the dips in weather.
Sorry, Damien?
Time your shaving with the dips in weather.
I should. I absolutely should. I shouldn't be worried about how I look on TV because you look fine. You look handsome. Roman's reminding me that Ashworth Homes has cross-country ski trails. I should get up there. I've been going out to Holiday Park right now, and I'll probably continue going there because I have one of those apps, and I can, on the app, figure out how long it's taking me, and I'm trying to get the time down because I go about 50 meters and need a breath. We get exercise and feel safe outdoors at the forestry farm. That's wonderful. Thanks for the fun break from the usual same old, same old. Thank you, Joan, and thank you for playing along, and she won a prize tonight. I think that's almost the end of our show, or should be the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for playing along and humoring us with this. NoYXE.com is kind of our portal where we're going to put all our shows. Our format is that all these shows are going to be out there free. They'll always be free. We're never going to firewall anything. We're going to push them out on social media, specifically Facebook and YouTube. And we hope that if you come and watch these shows and other shows, as we get more shows, that you'll get a sense of community, get a sense of knowing what's happening in Saskatoon, as in no YXE. Does that make sense?
I think it does. I think the name explains it all.
And a lot more accolades coming in. Thank you, everyone. We're going to say goodbye, and we're on. Hang on, before we go, I knew I forgot something. We have another show. I got to find the little graphic.
And one more shameless plug.
One more shameless plug.
Yeah.
This is something we're going to do. Slow TV YXE. Going to premiere this Sunday, and it's going to be called. Damien, you should come help me shoot this. But the idea is, and it comes out of Slow TV movement out of Norway. Years ago, they did a train. So we're going to broadcast this train that went along for 6 hours along the coast. I think it was Norway. And they
I believe it was. I remember you showing this to me.
On the front of the train. Yeah. And it was really well received. So it made a bit of research of the pandemic. People just wanted to watch something. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., we're going to bring you a scene from around Saskatoon. And as we get the technology ramped up, we'll start doing traveling around, walking and biking and things like that. But this weekend, you probably expect a shot, if I can find somewhere where it's warm enough for me to be, probably a river shot or something like that. So that could be on Sundays starting.
Hopefully something really misty.
Something misty would be good if it's still cold enough. So please feel free to tune into that. Damien, thank you so much for being a co-host. It's been great having you on the show.
Thanks for having me here.
I'll be pestering you if you're available. If not, we'll bring in somebody else who may or may not be as good as you. I doubt it because you're really good.
Well, I mean, David Fisher did get the most guests tonight, and I think that's pretty much how I ended up here. So.
You know, that's what we could do. We could let people win more than once, but if the one who wins the most prizes has to come on.
I think I won 3. If you win 3, you have to co-host.
That's it, yes. So David Fisher will be reaching out to see if he'll co-host with me next week. If that's pressure or not. One more comment here, and then we'll go. A riverboat ride would be nice. It would. Let's hope that this spring we can get back on the riverboat, and I'm sure that, all things being equal, that we will be. I went on last summer, and the COVID protocols were perfectly fine. I felt really safe. One way or another, I hope to be on your riverboat this summer. And thank you, Focus YXE. We got to go. We should get off the air.
Ian, thanks for pulling me into this. This has been fun, and it's a pleasure to be part of this project. I can't wait to see what it grows into.
Me too. And you got to stay in long enough for me to get the closing credits. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Obligatory.